Hey everybody. Yes, I am bringing back the live show. We've been doing office hours over at the Startup Your ClickUp community, and part of their request was, hey, we don't have specific training. There's a couple of things that we would love to do and see. So I am bringing back training sessions. So what this community office hour is going to be, and it seems like we are not streaming live on Instagram today, simply because I had some technical issues literally 5 minutes before going live. However, I am also live streaming on TikTok, testing that one out, all the things happening. So what's going to happen in our community office hours, which also will be turning into a lunch and learn. So the fourth Thursday of each month, I'm going to be going live for everybody in my community. If that is the YouTube channel, if that is on Facebook, if that is on TikTok, if that is in my community, to first of all talk about some updates, what's happening, where is Ask Evie going, where's the book, we'll talk about in a second. We will be talking about the state of ClickUp, what's happening over there, what do you know, what do you not know, all the things. If there is news with other tools that we use in our tool stack, that will also be mentioned in the live stream, as well as then followed up by ClickUp specific training. Now, before we dive into full-on updates, if you want to submit questions, yes, I am answering questions on this show of specific, hey, how do I do this? How is this possible? All the things. This is for the community. The community has a calendar. Let me show you. Let me actually show you. How about I show you? So what happens in our, not the file. Nope. We are not using the file. We are actually presenting from a share screen. There we go. So let me show you the community if you are not in it yet. Within the community, what we are doing right here is you can, let me make this a little, look at that. In this community, we have a calendar with all the things that are happening. And if you are watching on TikTok, head on over to YouTube. I'll see you there. That's where we can screen share. In the community, we have a calendar in here of all the things that are happening. And that's where the community call is. And that's where the link is to submit questions. That's how you get your questions answered. Now, having said that, let's dive into a couple of general updates when it comes to Ask Evie, the community, and all the things that are going on. You might have already seen that the content here on YouTube is a little bit changing. Over the years, how-to content is great. It shows you how to do things, but it doesn't much tell you why to do things, what the thought pattern behind it is, what's happening. It's just one layer of running your business more efficiently. And we are adding the secondary layer to this. We are adding the mindset to it. We are adding the leadership training to it and all of those. So that's happening right here on the YouTube channel. With that, some of you might have already signed up, bought some of my templates in the past. Now, these templates are moving into the community. We've been working on it with the book going on. We'll talk about this in just a second. We'll talk about the book in a second. Things have not quite progressed as fast as I would love to, but it simply is what it is. So templates are all moving into our source squad. And as you can tell here, we are also building the collection of bonuses you get when you engage in the community. So the more thumbs up you get on the SOAR community for popping in and asking ClickUp questions, popping in and asking business questions, helping other members, whatever it is, the more you engage, the more thumbs up you get, the more of templates and resources and potentially even calls with me you are getting. Cool. Clicking off and ClickUp, we got the first thing done. Second thing, mastering the basics of ClickUp. Actually, it's the basics of mastering ClickUp. We changed the book title just a little bit. The last chapter is written, guys. The last chapter is written. I swear, anybody that says just go self-publish on Amazon, it's not as easy as everybody makes it sound. I do have found a formatter that's going now into all of this and formatting the book to be approved by Amazon to get it all done. It is literally just a question of weeks at this point to get the formatting of the book done, and then it will be on Amazon available. I decided I want to focus on really getting this book done, getting it the best it can be right now, which means I am not going to be doing a 2-week launch on this book. It'll be, let me hide this. You can see right down here when you are on the full screen, you can see the link to sign up for the waitlist. I'm going to let my social media following know. I'm going to let my email list know. I am going to let you all know that this book is releasing. However, I'm not going to do a full-on book launch. So if you want to be notified when the book comes out, go to askev.tips/CU book. That's where the sign up is. That's where you can go and get notifications when the book goes live. Next one done. For my Startup Your ClickUp community, guys, new videos have been uploaded. New videos are coming. This one specifically was focused on task templates, how we build them, how we update them, how we use them. So when you go into screen share, so when you go into your Startup Your ClickUp, if you are signed up, I'm working on a little bit extra right here, and you scroll down, there is new tasks. There is new videos in your ClickUp task section. One of the nice things now is also from us moving from ThriveCart into School is you can check off which videos you've already watched. Ready there for you. I'll keep you updated as we add new videos. And last but not least, when it comes to Startup Your ClickUp, we decided literally this week, so you get to hear it first. Startup Your ClickUp, guys, you get to bring in your VA or you get to bring in a team member. I've heard you. It has been, the idea here is why I'm doing this is when you join Startup Your ClickUp, chances are you have a VA, you have somebody else that is working in ClickUp with you. And I want to give you the access for you and that person to be able to work hand in hand. You might not be always able to come to the office hours and all the things. So we decided to do the right thing and literally give you a 2-for-1. You sign up, do the whole thing as you usually would. You then, we're taking care of the technical aspect of this right now and figuring out how we're going to handle this. But it pretty much means you get to bring in your VA, you get to bring in your OBM, whoever it is, you get to bring in a second person into that. Okay. If you have any questions about this, feel free to pop them into the comment section. And with that, we are diving into ClickUp release notes. I want to hear from you. How do you like ClickUp 3.0 so far? Do you have access yet? Do you not have access? Pop in the comment section. Where are you watching from? Do you have ClickUp 3.0 access? Actually, let's get the second tool out of the way before we dive into the release notes, so we stay into full-on ClickUp mode for the rest of the show. Loom. Who of us here is using Loom? I'm using Loom daily. So it might have come to a surprise. Maybe you haven't heard yet. Who knows? Loom just got bought. Yep. Loom just got bought. Atlassian, who is the company, if I even say that right, above Jira. They are building Jira. They're the big guys. Bought out Loom. Now, when I heard that the first time, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen to Loom? We can take a breather, guys. Loom is not changing anything so far as of what I found on how Loom is going to work. Loom is going to work exactly the way we are used to it. They are just integrating it way more closely with Jira. So far, for all of us that do not want to use Jira or however you pronounce it, we can stay on Loom. It's all fine. It's all good. We're perfect. Let's take a quick breather. Let's not dump the water on my desk, which is what I just did right before the live show. Let's dive into ClickUp release notes. State of ClickUp, what has happened, what is happening, all the things. On that note, you know what? Let me share screen with you guys so you also see what I'm looking at. We're going to be diving into the 3 latest release notes and what that means for you. Okay. Release notes 2.196 was a lot of AI focused, meaning, there we go. There's my notes. Yes, I'm using ClickUp to take notes on what to talk about. Run of show. Release 2.196 was a lot of AI work. You got the summarize your task with AI. So if you have a huge ass, pardon my English, process, and you are trying to nicely sum it up of what are we actually doing, that's the feature for you. You now can generate task updates with AI. Again, if you have a long process and a lot of things are going on and you need to write a weekly review, a monthly review, something like that, that generate task update with AI is your answer. You can now also easily share tasks by mentioning anyone. Yes. Meaning they might not have access to the task yet. They haven't been notified about it. Nothing was going on there, right? You now can mention them. And as you can see in that, maybe you can, while mentioning them, also give them, let's have it pop up again, full access, added access. You don't need to share it, comment only or view only access, which is a nice one to keep things clean. We're going to be talking about that in one of the submitted questions that is coming up here in just a minute, where we talk about the whole watcher settings and all this stuff. Then badges for text styling. I've actually been using those a lot in my podcast process to really have a quick little color pop for the bio of my guests. So I do not search myself crazy trying to find the guest information in the long description that I have for every guest in my ClickUp. And then, as always, a couple of bug fixes. You're welcome to drill into those. Then release notes 2198. That was a lot of focused on drill down searches and permissions. So the first one is the granular, that was a mouthful, granular permissions for spaces. Meaning you now in spaces can change the permission just like you can on folders, lists, Yeah, those granular permissions are full edit, comment, or view only. As always, guys, all of this stuff always follows the ClickUp hierarchy. So if you set that up on the space level, it's going to trickle down into folder. It's going to trickle down into list. Always remember that. It always follows the hierarchy. If you do something on the upper hierarchy, it will funnel down in the lower. So make sure you are doing the thing you want to do. Bar charts now have drill down. What does that mean? That means you can click on stuff and get more information. That's pretty much what that means. That was the one. Yeah, that was the one where more is coming. Keep an eye out even more on ClickUp dashboards updates, as they will be including drill down on line charts coming to in dashboards. This one I really like, instantly find views in search. If you have a specific view, which is part of training, we are also going to be talking about custom views. You can search them in the universal search now. So if you say YouTube content, you can find that in search now. Cool. Some usability improvements as well as bugs. And then we have, really guys, that release note wasn't there yet. So I guess we're going to look live at the 2.23 release when we get to that. In 2.02, what happened is now we have an Australian server, meaning if you are on enterprise plan, your data is automatically going to be migrated over to the ClickUp Australian data center. All your core data from tasks and docs to automations and attachments now can be stored closer to your location. So what that means is this is an additional deeper effort for speed increasement in ClickUp. They have worked a lot of on a lot of servers and structural to bring the speed up as high as possible. Now, if you're on enterprise plan, your stuff is primarily and focused be housed in your location, meaning if you're not on enterprise, they're still going to try to get your information as fast and as close to you as possible. But just like websites, the system decides where to put information. There is backups and all of that funnels into this. As an enterprise plan, your data, if you are located, if your IP is in Australia, the system will plug in your data in Australia, which makes this even faster. That's kind of like what's happening there. Again, there is way more happening behind the scenes and stuff, but that's pretty much what it drills down to. Colors across workspaces. We have our bold colors back. Thank you. I am still hoping to get my red back at some point. I know, guys, heads off to my development team over at ClickUp. I know what you guys are doing. I know the colors are chosen based on accessibility, colorblind, hard of seeing, all that kind of stuff. ClickUp is really focusing to make ClickUp easily accessible across everything. That's why this is happening. That's why certain colors are not available. I am still hoping to be able to just be like, I want a custom color red and get my red back. Maybe it'll happen at some point, though. I appreciate the work you guys are putting into accessibility. Here is your drill down on line charts. ClickUp now, again, allows you to click into line charts and get more information. Bug fixes, new templates. And now you get to look into the new release notes of 2.23 with me, which weren't here yet last night when I took care of my show notes. So apparently we now can import documents from Confluence, so you do not have to toggle anymore between ClickUp and Confluence docs like that. So the process is the same as any import. You are going to the import within your settings menu. It's right there. The Jira importer has been revamped. Cool. Ooh, look at that. We can now get task descriptions in Markdown via API. Ooh, I like that. That's something for the nerdy people that are working closely with the ClickUp API to make more magic happen. They're going to be happy about that. Cool. So that was our rundown on the recent ClickUp releases. And I can mark that one done. All resolved in ClickUp. I have questions from you guys. Yes. So if you are, let's pop up that link one more time. If you are in the free community, yes, this is the free community right here. You have access to submit questions because you have access to the calendar. You have access to the full description. You have access to submit your questions. And today I'm going to be covering 2 questions that came in as which going to end up being feature training, because I'm going to show you how to make some things happen, as well as 2 feature ClickUp focuses. ClickUp feature focuses. That was a mouthful. So let's dive into the question that came in. And funnily, interestingly, it also came in through one of my agency clients. The question is, how do I prevent getting added as a watcher to every single ClickUp task? It happens, right? You create a task. You might be the project manager. You might be the one implementing. You create a task and you get assigned as a watcher. Why? I tell you what, because your notification settings are wrong. So let's help clean that up. And there we go. When you go into your ClickUp settings and into your notification settings, if you're on 3.0, it's really simple. Click on your avatar on the top right, click into your notification settings, and you will be in your ClickUp notification settings. Now, if you haven't watched the video, I have a video with a crazy face to clean up your notification settings. If you don't like ClickUp notifications, how they're working for you right now, I really recommend watching that video. For today, we'll focus on the watcher settings right here in ClickUp. And I guarantee you what's going to happen is you have this box marked and checked. When you create a task or subtask right in here, it's right on the top of your ClickUp notification settings. When that is on, what that is going to do is it's going to assign you as a watcher every single time you create a task. We don't want that. I don't even want that when I create a new subtask. So when you create a subtask within ClickUp, it will automatically assign you as a watcher. Let's not do that. When you edit a task or a subtask, let's not do that either. Just because you are doing something on a task doesn't mean you need to be a watcher on that task. If you need to be a watcher, usually means when you are mentioned in a comment or when you are assigned to something. And that's exactly where the last one comes in. If you get mentioned, if you get assigned to a task, you are always being assigned as a watcher within ClickUp. So you don't need any of these, really. You can decide when you comment, do you want to become a watcher? That's your choice. That's about the only one I would potentially check, because again, every time you do mention or you get assigned, you are being added as a watcher and you don't need to do anything else. Now, how do you clean that mess up? And I did not prepare for that. However, I want to show you how, because it's also already giving you an idea of the custom view training in ClickUp that we're going to come to in our feature focus. Cleaning up all of the tasks that are not assigned to you, but you have been watcher on, is actually quite simple. You do want to double check, because who knows, right? Go into everything view. You want to go all the way up. If for whoever you want to clean this up for in ClickUp is a guest, you want to do that for them. So just go up, grab a list that you can delete later. And what you're going to do is you're going to, first of all, we are not collapsing them all. We are adding them all as separate tasks. You are filtering them where the assignee is not. So I'm doing this for me. You choose which assignee it's not. So the person you are cleaning it up for. In my case, we're cleaning it up for me. The assignee is not me, but if you can spell, the watcher is me. So what does this do? This means I am watcher on this task, but I'm not assigned to the task. If I'm not assigned to the task, do I need to be a watcher? You do want to double check. You do want to check all of these. In my case, all of these are templates. I don't really need to be a watcher on those. So we have all of this. And what you then do is make sure they've all loaded. And then you can check all of those. You see, oh, you don't see on the top right. I got my graphics overlay. On the top right in this multi-toolbar, which we're going to talk about here in a second too, you see I have 175 tasks selected. You go to the big I, and then I assign myself as a watcher, and I unassign myself as a watcher. And now I have been removed from 175 tasks as a watcher. Really that simple. Now let's clean out those. And if you have questions for that, pop them in or pop them in the community right over there. The other way. Gotta love it. To do so. That's how you first of all prevent from being added as a watcher in the future, but also clean up when you are a watcher and you shouldn't be a watcher. Checking that one off. Using ClickUp as the run-off show in this way, I'm really liking it. I was talking with my friend Kendra yesterday, where I have two custom views. I have a custom view where I collect questions and do all the things, and then I have a view for the run-off show today. Better subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm going to share this approach when I tested it a little bit and make sure it's all working fine. Now, how do I attach something to a ClickUp task? And where that question comes from is doing research, doing potentially an email. How do I make sure ClickUp becomes the single source of truth in our business, and I'm really being able to put all the things into ClickUp? Now, there is two things to all of this. As I'm pulling up the screens, you need to see. Being able to attach things, and again, I know the specific use case scenario. It was a research use case scenario, meaning they have a task of research best practices for whatever, who knows, right? With that, they are online, they're doing all the things, they're on a blog post, they have found something, using a blog post of mine here as an example. And what we use for that is the ClickUp extension. ClickUp extension is right up here in my Chrome browser. It's the ClickUp logo. So we hit the ClickUp logo. You have multiple different things in this Chrome extension. In this case, we are using screenshot, and you can do the entire screen. We'll just use a selected area, and we'll just take a screenshot of this. Cool. Do you need to add any arrows, things, boxes, whatever? I don't even know. All the things. You edit the screenshot, you do all the things you want to do with it, and there it is. Now what you do with that, and you can go back into the edit. You see how there is an edit button right underneath me. Hold on. Let me move me over. There we go. Now you see there is an edit button right over here. And then once you are done with your screenshot and all the things, you do say attach to a task. This is where you can just create a new task. If you don't have a task you want to associate it with in ClickUp, choose the new task, or you can attach it to an existing task. Going up where, I don't even know. Let's do, we're not doing customer success, content creation, into shorts, and find the task that you want to attach it to, whatever it is. If you're like, I actually don't need that in ClickUp anymore, you just X out of it. There we go. So the secondary is, and I wish I could screen share on TikTok, so that would actually work better. So you're just going to have to join me on YouTube for this if you want to see what I'm doing and not just listening to it. The other one is you might just want to attach an email. You have an email conversation going on. Your VA sent you some information, whatever it is. I use a email newsletter right here, Macau Jones. She is doing her new reiteration of her Stop Hiding Retweetment. Love her to pieces. That woman has a stage presence. Holy cannoli. With that, the Chrome extension, the ClickUp Chrome extension that you already heard about just a second ago, also plugs a little button on the top left of your email that opens this and allows you to, again, attach to a task or create a new task with any kind of information you might want to add that. And that's how easy it is to really do your research and be able to attach all the things straight up to your already existing ClickUp task where you are handling all the research and doing all the things. Sweet. Got that. Give me 1 second. We had a second question. Where did my second question go? Oh, that was my watcher. This is why I have a one-off show. We actually already talked about the watcher. Those 2 Q&As are done. However, if you get too excited going live, you jump over the bug report. So we've had a couple struggles, and it could be we are still working on those. I just want you to know this is not expected behavior in case you are running into this, and give you a couple of things of potentially already fixing this yourself. So if you are using ClickUp to handle your short form content, if you didn't see the video, go grab it. I need to note down so I actually link those for you. So we've been talking about short form content, short form, as well as the notification video. Notifications. Okay, and this is why I have a whiteboard right next to me so I can actually link the videos for you. If you are doing that, and let me pull up something for you, because I want to show you. We are using the upload, the attachment custom field in our short form content creation. And why you're not seeing it yet, because I'm pulling up the agency that I work with and that we have built this for, and you don't get to see the client information. So got that. You just get to see my stuff. Bringing in the screen share again. So what you're seeing when you're watching on YouTube is we are using these gizmos right here. And what the team has been having an issue with is when they upload a file and they grab something. I'm not going to do that right now. And it starts the upload and they click out of it. It doesn't finish the upload. The team has been running into this, and that wasn't an issue that they had before. Now, I already talked with ClickUp about that. This is not expected behavior. It shouldn't be happening. If it's happening to you, please do me a favor and do the standard. clear your cache, clear your browser, do all the things, make sure nothing got stuck somewhere. We could not recreate the issue yet. The team, the short form creation, the editor team is having that issue. I cannot recreate it on my set. ClickUp couldn't recreate it. So we are still digging into this. I wanted to bring it up in case you might be running into this. Clear your browser, clear your cache. There is also a little bit some wonky things happening with ClickUp dependencies due date remapping. We are still drilling into this to try to really figure out what's causing the issue, because we haven't found one specific way yet when it's not remapping. It seems like going back in time might be some troublesome, but it's working fine on my YouTube videos. It also seems like it might be because the main task is before one of the subtasks. Just some weird dating stuff, due date stuff that is happening where we couldn't make any sense of it yet. As always, if you run into some weird stuff that just doesn't make sense and things are not working how they should be working, go into your ClickUp, into, I don't know, bottom left. I think that should be your bottom left. It's not there anymore. It's not on the bottom left anymore. Where is the support now? Yeah, the support is on the bottom left still. Click that question mark and submit a bug report. If you are a client of mine, if you are part of Startup Your ClickUp, send me the ticket number and we'll dive deeper into this. With that, it is time for our feature focus. Feature focus, I already gave you a couple of ideas what I wanted to cover today, because it came up a couple of times over the last month in the community, in calls of mine where people were like, I did not even know. And it's features that have been around forever. The first thing I really wanted to bring up is, it's now called BAT, Bulk Action Toolbar. I might still reference it as a multi-action toolbar, but I like the whole bat. It's like a Batmobile. What that is, actually, let me pop into my stuff. What that is means you are able to edit multiple tasks all at the same time. You can mark them up next to name, or you can single-handedly just choose the ones you want to edit. Then I have my logo on the wrong corner. We'll be adjusting that for the next live show. You'll be seeing on the top, you literally just need to look up. And that was one of my members' issues, where it's like, yeah, I'm in my tasks. I'm looking at my tasks. What's going on? The moment you select at least 2 tasks in ClickUp, that bar is going to pop up on the top. And that bar allows you to change multiple things. It will show you on the left-hand side how many tasks you have selected. The first gizmo that is, do you want to set a watcher or not? Do you want to assign that to somebody as the next one? You can change your status. And again, this happens for all the tasks you have selected. You can change the status of them. You can set your tags. You can convert them to subtasks or move them as a subtasks. Take the task and turn them into a subtask somewhere else. And then you can move those tasks into a different location. You can duplicate those tasks into different locations. You can also remove tasks from this list. You can set due dates for all of these tasks at the same time. You can set the priority. You can set your task types. This is what I used in the video about the new ClickUp 3.0 feature of custom task types. If you haven't seen the video yet, as I'm noting down so I can link it, we talked about custom task types and how we use them for SOPs and trainings and all the things. Dependencies. You can easily set dependencies for multiple tasks. You can merge tasks. You can link tasks. You can set all the custom fields all at once. You can archive them and you can delete them. That's all possible in that bulk action toolbar that I always still call multi-toolbar, because there's multiple actions you can take. The other feature I wanted to focus on today, because I think it's still a way underutilized feature here in ClickUp, is your custom views. Custom views is all the same data for different use case scenarios in ClickUp. So ClickUp custom views pretty much means you are putting on your blinders and you're building something for a specific use case scenario. In our case, shorts. I wanted to use shorts as the example because there's a lot of stuff going on. And if you want to see the screen share on TikTok, come on over on YouTube, askev.com, so you can see what's happening on the screen. With that, there's a lot of short form content happening right here. A lot of stuff and more stuff. So when you look at everything, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I need to prove stuff. I definitely need to go in there and prove those. It's like, when is stuff going? Instagram. When is stuff going out on Instagram? When is stuff going out on YouTube? Look at that. When is stuff going out on TikTok? What's the general calendar? Where, what, how, why, when? It's one of the use cases we really love, because what we do in here is Instagram published, for example. That is a ClickUp custom view where we don't have subtasks, so it's collapsed. The filter is IG Reels is checked, meaning it has been published to ClickUp. Meaning this content has been published in Instagram, because we have a little checkbox that says, hey, Instagram, check it off. And if you want to see how we use this setup in ClickUp to manage our short form content in full, I have a video of that too. You also can have your YouTube published, your published all. The proof. Proof is a fun one, meaning the filter in here is literally just the social media stage is to approve. Short form, we already have that on there. Cool. Meaning when my team sets short form content to proof, I have it in here so I easily can tell. Yeah, I really need to. Oh, look at that. She sent that to me yesterday. Love it. I'm not too far behind. And where the custom views really become amazing is in your everything view. And two of my favorite views, my task view, because we hear it so often that people say, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing in ClickUp. And then you didn't get an everything custom view. This can be recreated in a dashboard too if your ClickUp user is a guest, because they don't have access to everything. We are assuming here they are full member. If not, recreate the same thing in a dashboard. And what we do here for the My Task one is we group it by due date. We usually collapse the subtasks. That's your choice. And we have it in me mode. Having this set up, and we actually set this as a default usually up there, where me mode, you don't have to recreate the My Task view. With the me mode, the My Task view is going to show your tasks based on who is logged in, meaning I'm not going to see my team's tasks. I'm just going to see mine, but my team going in, they see theirs. Now, the on fire list in ClickUp, as I'm screen sharing on YouTube, if you want to see it, is a little bit of different sorting. Means it's grouped by priority. If you use the priority flag in ClickUp, it will group it by the priority flag. We still have it collapsed. In the filter, I am taking out some locations that are just data locations. The custom task type video talks about those. And the due date is set. And then in me mode 2, And the next piece is sorting it by the due date. So what that does, what these settings do is it groups it by the urgency, meaning it uses the flag first. What's urgent, as you can tell, as I'm not even screen sharing. Really, Evie? I did that just now. Yep, I totally did that. So group by priority right in here. Subtask collapsed, 2 filters, the location filter and the due date is set, and me mode is turned on. Now, as you can see right here, it is also sorted by the due date. So what this does is you have the urgency flag of urgent, high, and then normal and no priority on the bottom. And within those, they are also sorted by due date, which means your team can go in the morning and be like, what's high urgency? What's happening? What do we need to do first? No matter the due date, they are just going by the urgency flag initially. And then they go into their everyday task, their everyday due time and due dates. All the same. We do like to have both of them. In the end, it's your decision if you want to have the My Task and the On Fire list, or if you just want to go by the On Fire list, because everything that has no priority is going to be right underneath all of that. And with that, look at that. We made it in 45 minutes, jam-packed with a whole bunch of information. So if you want to submit questions for the next time, come into the community. If you are going into the calendar and you find the community office hours, it'll move into a lunch and learn. It's going to be more of a lunchtime. Have some fun with it. There will be a link to submit your questions for the next episodes. And with that, I am marking that using my Org Action Toolbar complete. That was it from me today. We will be back on the 4th Thursday of every month with a similar layout of what's happening in our community, what's happening with ClickUp, what's happening with other tools that are in our tool stack, answering your questions, anywhere from 3 to 5 probably in each episode. We'll see, because I want to keep it at those 45 minutes. And then ClickUp feature focused trainings. The easiest, did I mention? Just join the community so you always get updated. And with that, I am off. We need to finish the book. It's going to be released here in the next few weeks. I hope you are on the email list and subscribed to get updated when my baby is finally being released to the public. I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.